Abuseni como o chani so ha AG politics abri. Political story of September. Unia miku is making headlines. Ne jemre na EDB exumpo. Unia Kevin Taylor etimi abawura eye Ken Ofori Atta asweye. Na unia channel swam say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama abra no udi kan e free eye akunya so no. Odi futuo bi ekoto eye contingency fund no. Say in case of emergency, say Ghana eko ahunyehia mu bi emu na say bi hia sika eho e de kwa koyi sika na free na ye de aboye ho bra na nado dan kwa kufado eba akunya so no Ken Ofori Atta ekoyi sika na onua impo parliament free na ototo na no a enkosi aga na we say na Kevin Taylor ajemre na or drop more charges against him ehu ebe hia say ibowura mu ne ehwe ne yeko ene de ba hye no so am say aha 88 politics abin mesho say onua
Mahama Wakatre the finance minister no a day or two ago. So I'm releasing over 300 million Ghana cedis. Na nipa sebio omuwaka insua etoye ese nyane ese japade eku nipa no sebio Ghana aban so ebetumi aboa na omwa sebio mu baby da enimeni no aban bepe baby mo de omuti ato ene sebio nyoma asei ene senia yebetumi afa kwan bi so ama de esi no atoyenchema esi no ensibiem enti saa sika aban NDC aban John Mahama instructed the finance minister no menoka say the finance minister sasika no ama ministry was say omuji sasika no omofandi djuma inti menoka say nsem asisi ye nsu efa nipa nipa bi ehwere omonkwa ebi moja pade nyina say omuhu de omunya sebio bebi omuda no omunnim bebi ade chekra omeda no ende aban NDC aban John Mahama dano no sa aban no ama finance minister sika every contingency fund in fact yakaze contingency fund aban we NDC aban ba mrebi no ena omote sa contingency fund no say Ghana kwa hihim ahuhihim awochirem etise de nsu afa nipa edwuma afsai nipa edwuma ekunipa ama nipa enye bebi ndasa Ghana fo na saa foto na efre contingency fund no eho ene yekọ se oman na yekoyi sika na yede bo edien yedi si nyoma bia no enti John Mahama NDC aban a edi contingency fund ba moka say contingency fund we MPP aban ba power from 2017 sika na ewom omudi ni nyina ama mbre bi kra yefre Ofori Atta made ba parliament say contingency fund no adenti na sika ewom nyina asa MPP aban na ba omia edi enim eye sika sam totoye no omo na omo de contingency fund ko si awawa sika ewom nyina no omudi ye and the NDC asaba ama contingency fund we omasa de sika foto asabe gu foto nim ama asema esi John Mahama a direct minister of finance say omfa sika ni bi onyi bi na yemfa nhwe Ghana fo omo ho kire omo ene sika ni bi so omo sa emfa entity gatem omo sa emfa entoto nyama se ne be ya yarewa ebefri sa insuo a eyiri mu nipa bi a sebio insuo eyiri no emama omo nyama bi asai insuo ene gates no omo mfa entity gatem na omo mfa entoto nyama ma se ne be ya sato yenchem we esasi bi ma yentumi enko na yenka say yentumi ambo ho ban yentumi entu ho anamo inti me no ka say John Mahama ama finance minister over 300 million Ghana cedis sika ya kan ho asemi say usi menhia saa 50 sika no still enkum every say sika esu yie inti enuanom ade we na kire oman no president no sebio adwenepa akomapa ene senior ono so pese oman Ghana sika ye de ato no ye de boa Ghana fo a omo ho aka na eba ensem wei ene nsu etoye ene nipa dodo a omoja pade omahwere ene ndwuma nsu wei asai ene mantem adan a ebuogu a asema ano adin ye na there's something we need to all understand ato yenchem wei a eto Ghana ebi sebio yeni ankasa making ena de eto ye no so no sebio obi beka se insu eto ye no na insura no adin ye nanso obi be se entate abo antate oni se debi sebio insu beto sebio ewia bebo inti debi otowa na oyeden osiesie no ho ofa eduane a na ode akosie baby because oni se da achi bi no asem betumi ato insuo betuma ato eja betuma ahye na adentina as a nation yenso yenye proactive ne entina nka se ebia ato yenchem betuma esi na ato yenchem na ebesi no yaye ahoboabo a yedi besi sa ato yenchem no ho kwan ana and really the main question we need to be asking each other. We have to blame the authority somehow, and also we have to take the blame as citizens. Now sa insuo ya afanipa nipa bi ewu ede sebio endan ebuogu sebio indwuma asai no question na ebusa nyina nse wana fault yɛntumi ntena Ghana na yɛnsɔre ne yɛnka sɛ ei wei deɛ politicians ammoayɛ enti na ɛndɛ yɛnnwoma gu abɔntene yɛn nyinaa yɛte Ghana mohwɛ me from the west, south, east and whatever you want to call it obiara nim sɛ baabi ɔte wonim sɛ wote nsuo ma wonim sɛ wo area no nsuo mu na wote a you know sɛ unko school nsuo hu school ana ɛdan ho school kra okɔ high dan na saa dan no esi nsuo ma ɛdan no ho kra no bɛkyerɛ wo sɛ ɛdan na wa high no esi nsuo mu enti 80% of yani Ghana for yeti baby a nsuo wɔ no we know say we are living in water we are living in waterways yenim say ɛdan baby esi ɛdan na ya rent no obo etumi ka kyerɛ sɛ ɛdan we de ne bo afu efiri sɛ baby esi no nsuo ta aya na atɛkyɛ wɔ hɔ you know mama yɛn pretending yɛn ho te sɛ sɛbi odi esi no ebi nsi da we have to blame authority. Now, answer your Rebecca say you be blame authority. No, I know say some people will say oh, Adentina there are some ways here, and that there end this what power. Now Kevin tell us say you blame authority. I am not saying we should solely or we should wholly blame authority. We should blame authority because one, when the system and make us say authority make a buying, when the system at the end of the day things are put in place. At the end of the day, say say the effect and I said the impact and and I'm talking about when government are elected, they need to at the end of the day make sure say system need to provide an environment even though and to be my 100% protection I was say it to be my regime it to me a buffer sebio at yanchem say sia you bet me sevio impact and as a damage and to me and cost as crazy. Now, let's step back a little bit. And we are not here to equalize. I hate equalization. But because of the MPP 4 year, because of Nkwasiasema politicians because of Jimia, young politicians we always have to go back and remind the people that what is happening today, the government of the day can be blamed to a point, but you cannot blame the government solely because there have been government upon government that were supposed to be proactive. In less than 10 years, 8 years ago, there was a government in power. This government cannot isolate itself from the AC. And we all saw the AC. Nobody can sit on TV or radio and say the NDC government should not take the blame, some of the blame of what is happening. Then Nandi Panwa bottom. Let's be factual here. So it's not TV so no cause a political commentator or cause or your den or your kasama way or your way no cause the government of the day should not take some of the blame for what we are witnessing today. Not Sandy Pano or your trophy on Kanokre. Now what we are witnessing is it's the neglect. But for now is the NDC government in power. And nobody can go and say for Adia Esindeno NDC no power. Yanko blame MPP for Nkwasiafo. We cannot do that. The NDC government should also take the blame for what has happened. Now, Obibeka say insuno fa nipa no. Sebio, can you control insuno? You cannot control insuno, especially insuno etoy no. Ye sa magnitude of insuno etoy ni bida in a very long time. But the issue is if we have been proactive for a long time anka the impactor in so way flood way ye no anka ye nya ne sa ebia anka nipa bi ehobeka nanso anka ye nipa dodo se do hobeka. So let's be realistic. Now we are always blaming government. We are always saying me will videos 1 or 2 3 videos now ma me be any other people be omokoye den omoko interview omo aban behwe me dem nso nyina me dem nyoma nyina say e den aban ne be. The question here is aban they not tell you to go and rent where you rented. We need to be responsible as a people because one, what we need from the government is to make sure say trash some of the reasons in here flood way by then the system needs to also help us. The system needs to provide dustbins all over the place. So about brochia Abani provided their bins. Abani that's what Abani is to make sure sa ball and their good bins in no then ye ball and the court. Abani has to make sure say ya gutters ya kwanpa gutters ya drainage papa in fem. Abani's responsibility to make sure say gutters na no gutters ye tumi tim nipa bi entumi ensi gutter no with their own wall. The government or the system also has a major role to play. But you see, when issues like this happen, now you try them, you try fee, now you try TV so now you create impression be say abani no fault totally now you Jimmy because this is the situation. In so we are FIA. Say aban at the dustbins abesisi Ghana. We have seen people they have deliberately decided not to take bins from the government because they will pay for their trash to be taken away. And is it the fault of the government? No. And it does not matter the government in power. It can be NPP, it can be NDC, it can be CPP, but the ball aba obiti mantem or say ball GB. Then we allow the person to go scot-free. The question here is sani pana wanje ball adiano and he not the ball agu. So baller taking a bins, it should be mandatory as far as a danya sebio obidia renti obi ana obia si ani patimno. A bin has to be a constant thing. Ultimately can say me will feel a bank is supplying trash bins. The government they have to give you the bin. If you refuse to take the bin, you have to face the law because obola would be going. That is the question. But this is a situation where the system decided to provide the baller in our Ghana. Are we willing to take the baller? There are so many people living in Ghana. How many bins? And there are also people in Ghana. Bins near their bano, no maberia, no makoton. So our attitude is also something that we have to do. What we have to also look because ushe die esin nana. Debi ameka tre Ghana for. Sa de we esin ebese sibiem. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and make it look like, say, I need to protect anybody. I'm not here to protect anybody because the one now for you so I say I'm dying. Oh, say a few months ago or a few weeks ago, maybe I catch the Ghana for say. Sir, a year day, bola ya yetu obian peso bekasa. In so the area, baby, I will expect to say zone bebano a hone beba. And you see, na de bia ka so mo de omo te slums we mu de baby omo te hiafo na te wo we mu de baby omo te no what to say baby hiafo te no inso ko ho the water found its way to places and now we expect to say inso ko ho. Why? Because we all fail to speak. Yet mantem na obiaba na o sidan e wo insuom ohene wo ho state man te ho opinion leaders te ho. We allow the person to build. Yet krom now, a month for we can see clearly. Say, as you see a project way, this project is going to cause a lot of problems. You don't expect the president to come to Latobi Okoshi, the president to come to Chado and come and fight. Let me tell you, whether you like it or not, the people who are supposed to make sure these things work, and Mamika we been Ghana for all over the world, civil servants, some of them are the most corrupt people in the world. And sometimes you need to understand say so obiti lands commission, obiti forestry commission, whatever planning and then they don't fucking care. Or no, or to say robot. Say obikas wenyasa so ha obema nipa the permit, obejisika obema permit. Now what about your people, you the people living in the community? Because we should make it difficult for people to be able to build in places they are not supposed to build. Sometimes we need to use our common sense. It is a civil servant to be the lands commission or to towns and planning or to municipal assembly. Now say or granted documentation, sir. So depending on document now, we in the community should be able to stop the person and say, no, we don't care where you got the documentation from. But as we live here, you say higher waterway. And we the people here, so we're blocking so yeah. So we need to be people who basically fight these things. But I mean, you cannot change a civil servant. There will be a water lands commission for years. What now MMC said they know they are taking money, they don't care. It is a better Ghana. Not the piano, ya bought a bicycle, NPP are binding, my nyadie, almost the Pajisika, and dear, it's right. They did it. They are careless, they are stupid, they chop the money. But what about us? Because we need to find a way to protect ourselves. We in a community, the honest truth is nobody should build about 1,000 meters from Wager Dam. And then Wager Dam. We are not supposed to see any house that is even 1,000 meters away from Wager Dam. No. Dam, from the dam, there the edges of the dam, and also the banks, about 1,000 meters, and this can be partner. And these are things we need to admit. Maybe 1,500 meters from the dam. No matter what, they are going to get flooded. So as a nation, it is always not about we staying at home. Yanyoma say and the president Yanyoma say no. What is said the party to be Yanyoma say no. It is you. But you were sitting in the neighborhood. You saw people throw trash there. Otia wajib dustbin. Uneba any dustbin. Now you think so uneba and ball and end of the Odin say we neighbor no baller na oni bi no or the baller ni kogu hen. Where do they take their trash? They are going to throw it in that gutter. How many begu ball nim? How many begu gutter nim? How many begu area? In so area. What Dana will tell $1.2 million no? Ne Dana wasting 30,000 no? Ebe bu Dana togu. Are you going to blame the president? You cannot blame the president because you refuse to do your civic duty. There are things that we as citizens, we deserve it too. Here, my show videos. Look at this. This is during the flood. Then you sit there and you are blaming the president. Oh, but damn. You need to understand what the government is doing is what they are doing. They are supporting. Sometimes we are not going to, or say honest, we cannot isolate the government. Whether NDC or MPP or QQQ, we cannot isolate the government. The state needs to do its part. And the part of the state is to provide the bins. The part of the state is to make sure gutters, basically good drainages are built. The part of the state is to make sure the system is structured that we cannot abuse it. Because you see, Debbie Amekeno has said, our system has been built in such a way it entices us to commit crime. It entices us to do things we are not supposed to do. Because when you live in a neighborhood, now say gata dahoni and kata aswa, the probability of somebody who doesn't have a bin throwing their trash in there is high. You cannot stop it because they are enticed. They are forced to do it because they see water running. They see the water going. It's night. They'll drop it in. So the state needs to be blamed, whether NDC or MPP, I don't fucking care. But we as a people, what are we doing to force the states to do what we want? Because Ejapadiano say, it is us. Ejapadiano Esbugua, it is us. Yani eti Ghana tenkran teti nkrobe breswa insuo yiri. 90% of yani ayeti nsuom yenim se nsuom ne yeti. We know. Now look at this. Here video CB. Look at this.
Di no ni biane ni won ne ma bi di nche loka wo dumbo enu domli woni di enyo ka wonye beti ba here ka wonu pure water wonwe wo foshi wayeni wonwe wo foshi fe eboto enu do amli di kati numbo ne keke e wo fe ka ba la pesi na nya wona wo le ake blema ku pesi na aba he olo e bi ene aba to ka si mene ebele na kendo ahelo atoka etu me anitu mohe kaji odemocracy na no kwa bekwe nitu mo wulu ya jeme na kano okwa dro nitu mo wuji ya jeme kaji bo obele shapo ni me ka dai wonu domri ne baboti o shapo amie aneba ngo na lo oba tanyefai eneme jeni nisa aka enyene ya noni never ne eyang eko eja ka insure aye awole no fino ni potu amliye na ko ese eba no no ni nyana ne eba eko ni yado fe sani aja laboma doctor botu eja ledete kotokumi ke laboma kotokumi na ka lo ba bia ke me bia ba lo ni neta ko fo se no me kuma ni tumo he ye bia ne wo ba tanyefai Yemeni nye yo shia o shia ni wo fi on ke ni ne de no papa fe money o ba kwanye fai la boma ke ada biti se ni yo bia ne amefe ke pono biti amefa
we en sama horo tim ko so channel no so mam na o so de breda se le so pa din dia dum be dum ni e besen e share